Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the first leg of a marathon podcasting ridiculous night that I am going to have ahead of myself. But I have beer for a Lynx stream, and I have a Shasta Diet Cola for this one. So we're going to take the Wolves seriously, and then depending on if we get news on the Lynx, we'll either laugh or cry together later on that. But I'm Andrew Dukowitz from Zone Coverage, beat reporter for the Wolves, Lynx, and Gophers. And we got Derek Long, a.k.a. Croonch, from Twitter. More importantly, from the SideLine Vibes Podcast. How's it going, man?
Oh, I'm just in such a good mood right now. We talk about a fun night of basketball, and in something that probably wasn't going to be that way, but we have a fun Wolves win. We have some fun Lynx excitement / just nerves.
Yep.
What a night.
Yep.
What a Friday night.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw Joe Ingles was an inactive personal decision, I was like, woof. This one's gonna be tough with no Jingles out there. But
yeah.
Kidding aside, no Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
Kidding aside, no Rudy Gobert, no Julius Randles, no Naz Reid. Bones Highland takes the night off. I mean, that's 4 out of your top 8, top 7. Probably 7 or 8 or 9, but that's 4 of your key rotation guys gone against a Houston team that needed to win this. Like, the Lakers have the tiebreaker. Houston needs to get higher than the Lakers if they want home court advantage for that first round series. And the Wolves just kind of stomped them, didn't they, Derek?
Yeah, it was a shocking game. It's kind of one of those games where you watch the first 5 minutes of it and you're like, ooh, this is going to be a fun one. This feels like a little playoff vibe where both teams are playing super hard and both are trying to kind of feel each other out and try different things. And an unexpectedly fun game. I was really shocked at how much Ant played. I thought he was for sure not going to play in the fourth quarter. Same with Jaden. And it looked like we just kind of were like, you know what? We really need this for our momentum going into the playoffs. And it was fun.
I mean, it was fun. Ant looked great. First quarter, he was 0 for 3. Looked like he was kind of dealing with a little bit of rust, but then he promptly goes 3 for 4 from 3-point line and drops 21 points in a casual 22 minutes after the first quarter. I've kind of been under the impression that, if this was the second round in the playoff, he'd probably be playing these games. The Wolves have been pretty optimistic about him coming back. Just didn't want to put undue stress on that knee. He looked awesome. What did you think about Ant tonight, though?
I've been getting a lot of flack in one of my group chats. Shout out to the guys on the couch group chat. We have a lot of banter back and forth about what the Wolves are doing here and the fact that are the vibes good or bad? And I was like, you know what? I think we're just resting guys,
Yeah.
And with what they've been saying, hey, we're being cautious with it. They're ramping up, whatever it may be. And then you're hearing some reports. I was listening to Dane Moore pod today, and they're talking about how, Jaden's ready to go. We just want to make sure and be cautious. If playoffs started today, he'd be playing. And this game kind of proved that both those guys are clearly ready to go. And we're just kind of, giving a little rest. We've had 2 long playoff runs, but this Ant, you could see in the first half and I would say the first 3 quarters with Ant, even Barry on the broadcast for Prime, he was like, all of his shots are just a little short. The process is there. He's getting to his spots. Yeah. It's looking good. He's making the right decision. It's just everything's a little short. And then he saw that first one go in for him later in that third quarter, and then it was just bombs away.
I mean, it is one of those things where I think as soon as the Wolves, honestly, since they beat Phoenix and kind of put the play-in out of they didn't officially clinch it until literally earlier this week, but when they beat Phoenix, I think that just the thought process in the building changed from we need to win at all costs to winning is nice, but we need everybody ready to go for the postseason, which I mean, they do. I know they win tonight without Julius, but like if Julius is out for a 7-game series against Denver, like I don't know what you do. Like now Aaron Gordon can go match up on Ant more. Like it just changes things. I mean, again, it's a lot of what these guys are dealing with. Like Jaden had the bone bruise issue. Like a lot of times that's more related to like a stress, wear and tear, overuse type of injury than like he just fell really hard. Ant's jumper's or runner's knee, excuse me, not jumper's knee. His runner's knee is a very common like overuse injury with track and cross country runners. Julius Randle dealing with everything. Nas, I'm glad they gave the night off so his shoulder doesn't fall off. Like, I think it really has been just the last 2 weeks is just, let's just get everybody right so that when we have the week off for the play-in, we can just practice hard, game plan hard, and then meet Denver at full strength, which, yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you. Just being around the teams, the vibes aren't like bad. Like I haven't been on the road trips with them, but like when they come back into town, they're fine.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm always big on just like reading what the team is saying, how they're talking to each other, and what's coming out of there. Because sometimes you can really read through them not saying stuff. I think that's kind of usually a red flag, and I feel like they've been pretty vocal about what they need to do better and what they maybe were lacking over that last little bit of the year. But now I think you can kind of see, they can see the light at the end of the regular season tunnel, and they're ready to. I would just like a little side thing for the value of this game. It was super valuable for our young guys. Like Yon, like this is probably the most important game that it's probably easily the most important game he's ever played in. But like,
I'd say this or the Milwaukee game are like the two pinnacles of his career.
yeah, and it's like that he played awesome. Tej needed a really he needed it the last 2 games. Even Clark getting some valuable minutes, and I think that kind of just opens the door for a lot of stuff. If not this year, into next year, like you need that kind of vibe shift going into the playoffs for sure. But yeah, it was fun.
It's adjustments too, right? Like you see Mike Conley's shot falling a little bit more, which Tycoon, Cole, and I don't know ball. I'll bring up, Mike. I mean, you see his shot falling a little bit more, and now it's like, okay, well, if they really can't chase around Jamal Murray on these pick and rolls, like Mike can still draw that one offensive foul on a screen every game, and it's a lot easier to justify having him out there if he can hit a 3. I mean, TJ has been like, this is the best 2.5 game stretch he's had. I mean, maybe since Oklahoma City last year. Clark's been shooting like at all. I mean, it's going in a little bit. I do think it just opens up like the possibilities for Finch in the playoffs of just, hey, like if Dante doesn't have it and Io goes down or something, now we know TJ is kind of on a heater. If Ant is in foul trouble, we can throw Clark out there and at least get some on-ball defense. Like it's kind of happening at the perfect time for a team that's just been so weird all season,
we talked about it quite a bit this year. I feel like every time we come on, we talk about how weird they are, but I don't know ball. I think
thing I'll remember from this year.
Weird team.
Yep.
I don't know ball. I think a little bit of ball talking about that screen chasing, because I think Finch talked about this even a little bit. His big thing is like we need to have a lot of levers to pull, and I think this team probably has the most levers that we've ever had under Finch, which is really exciting to now throwing in Yon in the mix. I know, like, if he's getting we were talking about in the last episode, if he's playing a lot, that means something went horribly wrong. But that means something went horribly wrong, and we can still throw him in there, and who knows, he can at least survive for a little bit. But like, it was fun to see like Mike Conley team high set plus 17, and his 3 threes were the I think the spark that kind of got us going into that late second half. But yeah, it was just a very valuable game for all those guys all around. Even the guys who like kind of were limping through, like Io, like this was kind of a playoff game, a vibe
Yeah.
wise, and like you kind of saw what he could do, not just like straight line 100 mile per hour drives to the rim all the time. You know, he was able to kind of like slow down, pick like get the defender in jail off the ball screen because they were doing a lot of drop coverage, and so that was kind of fun to see because I haven't seen a ton of that from him. But yeah, overall just a lot of fun to see everyone kind of getting better at the things that they needed to work on.
King of B and Pack Mentality both talk about Mike's reverse aging, potentially a cryo chamber. The first day he came back, he started wearing a headband, and I asked him about that immediately because that's my role on the beat is to be like, hey, what's going on with that? And he's literally like, I mean, something had to change, right? Like we weren't playing very well in the first half, so I figured I'd bring back the headband. He's been like fine, like every opportunity. I still feel bad for him because it does look like he's walking on hockey skates after games.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just is so sore, but like he's finding a way. To your point of like him being plus 17, 4 turnovers, or 4 assists, no turnovers, had a steal. Like I think that's the thing with Mike that it doesn't often show up on the stat sheet, but he's just so consistently not making mistakes. Like even on defense, if he gets cooked, he like maneuvers the guy into the center of the defense. So it's like a contested shot at least. I mean, there's just something about being like an old guy, which Kyle does that too. Kyle, like when he gets beat on defense, it somehow always works out. Io, completely agree with you. Like he looked really good. The other guy, like I wanted to kind of bring up is just Dante shoots 3 of 8 from 3, but he's kind of strung together a couple pretty good performances here, which I mean, shooters are streaky, but if Dante is starting to find his rhythm going into the playoffs, like that's a pretty good sign too, right?
Yeah, he seemed like for a while in this like latter part of the year, he was just like kind of living outside 3-point line. It was just like that was it. I just feel like he's kind of getting beat up. You kind of see like those like shoulder, those like cupping things. Like I don't know, like whenever I see a lot of stuff like that, I'm like, oh, this guy's just going through stuff and just kind of getting back to healthy. But like it was fun to see him kind of take it to the rim a couple times tonight, which was good. But I also think Jaden had like a really good game. It doesn't show in like the box scores, like shooting wise, but like having to guard Durant. I know Durant scored a lot, but he had to really work for his baskets, and it felt like everything had to kind of go through him. And then he had that incredible, probably one of the best defensive plays of the entire year in the NBA, where it almost looked like a disaster. He gets this awesome steal block thing, and then loses the ball. Almost falls completely down to the ground. Then he jumps up and somehow blocks the ball that's like about to just go right into the hoop. That was insane.
Just obnoxious. I don't understand. Like again, like Jaden, 16.7 rebounds, 2 assists, no turnovers, and then has 4 blocks that he's credited for. I mean, like this is earlier in the year when I wrote like Jaden might just turn into Scottie Pippen, and like it sounds absurd until you look at like their statistics and play style and kind of like what people were writing about them at each age. Like Scottie obviously comes into the league 4 years older than Jaden, so like Jaden had a little bit of catching up and growing to do. But it's like if this is Jaden in the playoffs where he's just 16 points, 5 or 6 rebounds, 3 or 4 assists, handful of stocks. Like that's what Pippen did in 89-90 before they went on their three-peat. Like there is a world where this is just like the postseason Jaden becomes the second best player on the team. I'm very high on Jaden. Cole mentions how petty he is. There are not many people that match my level of petty. Jaden's up there. So I mean, where are you kind of sitting at seeing Jaden's evolution this year, though? Because again, over the last 10 games, he's averaging like 19 a game.
I couldn't agree more with what the Scottie Pippen comp, which sounds ridiculous saying it. It sounds ridiculous, but like I'm always a big like just how you said it, the comparison of how they like play the game. And that is like a perfect comparison. I love his mentality, like how he plays. I love now like how efficient he is. You guys talked about this in the last with you and Andrew, on the fact that like when he like wants to, he gets to wherever he wants to go, and just it's probably going in.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like whether or not he feels comfortable and wants to attack. And as he starts getting more comfortable with stuff like that, like he's going to be a terror in this league. And I'm really excited about him. It's just funny because I feel like because of how he's like so quiet, like we don't talk about him as much as I feel like we should, because he just takes care of his business, But yeah, he's been fun. We have the next Scottie Pippen. We have the next Giannis. I was kind of hinting at that earlier with the Yon. Like some of those early drive where he stole the ball and dunked. That looked like Giannis in Milwaukee. Like, oh gosh, it was crazy.
It's funny because like at the draft thing, so like for people that don't know how like media draft things go, is the Wolves buy some pizza or Jimmy John's and they have everybody sit in the writer's room, and there's like 14 dudes stuffed in a writer's room all watching a 34-inch TV for the draft. And then as soon as someone gets picked, all of us panic research as fast as possible on what's happening, because like there's just not enough time to watch every college player in the world. And when a foreign guy gets drafted, it's just like, oh God, because it's none of us know anything about it. Maybe like Dane does, because Dane is like the most like basketball life. He's like the Ryan Russillo of the Wolves beat. I don't know what he does other than basketball. I'm sure he has a very lovely life, but from sitting near him quite often, a lot of basketball in that guy's head. But like that was kind of the like hushed whispers, was like it kind of feels like this is the Wolves trying to take like French Giannis and seeing if they can just develop this super raw ball of clay that just has a knack for being in the right spot, which I mean, there's the flashes. We kind of talked about it last pod, and I had talked about it with Ryan Eichten over on 2 Words Wolves pod. Like, I'd be surprised if he's getting big rotation minutes last year, but like that guy very well could be 2.5 years from now just a menace. Like he doesn't do anything than basketball. Like I literally remember asking him in summer league, like, what do you do outside of basketball? Like, do you play 2K? Like, what's just trying to like get to know him? And he's like, nah, pretty much just basketball. And it's like, oh, okay. Like, great. With the Jaden thing, I do, because I every time I mention Jaden and Pippen, like there's always someone 5 years older than I am that's like, you didn't see Pippen and Jordan play. Like, correct. I did not see Scottie Pippen play basketball in 1989. However, I have read a ton of articles from 1989 that were very race baity, that implied that Scottie Pippen wasn't smart enough to be a lead ball handler, and that he was going to flame out, and that he's too turnover prone, and he doesn't have a deep shot, and all he is a defensive stopper, and he'll never rise to what he was.
Like?
Like, it just sounds like Jaden. Like,
yeah.
I can't guarantee that Jaden's going to take a Pippen level leap, but like if Jaden's averaging 22 this year in the playoffs, like that's the exact same thing Pippen did when he turned 25 in 89-90. Like, it's wild.
It is. Yeah. I think like last year, the year before, we're just like, gosh, if he could just make 3-pointers consistently, he's going to be an absolute terror. And then now he's making 3-pointers pretty consistently, and it's still there's some people who are like, oh man, I wish we just could get more from him. Like, I don't know if we can get a lot more from him. He's still so young. It's just fun. He's gonna be really fun to see him kind of just grow more. Yeah. We just have a fun team. This is a fun team.
It is. And especially like Cole brings up, like it's offense is better without Randall. Someone else I think brought up that I'm not scrolling up fast enough through the chat, but like that this team, when it only has kind of one primary ball option, it just makes a lot more sense. Like, honestly, like that's kind of the story of Jaden. I think he's too unselfish. a lot of times. And instead of just calling his own number, going to this weird shot, like that weird mid paint pull up, ugly looking thing, like he'll just move the ball, because I think he is genuinely a pretty smart player. But he's not going to get a ton of opportunities when you have Ant and Julius taking 60% of the usage, right?
Yeah, it's definitely hard for him to probably find his spots, but like I think we talked quite a bit this year about how I just think kind of like he's a perfectionist, and so like I've never seen someone in the NBA get more upset with missing a shot than Jaden. Like he is like thinks every shot should go in, and he is pretty efficient with. So if it doesn't, then he's more more upset than I think other NBA players show. But yeah, when he's like he didn't even shoot. The good thing was tonight, like he didn't even shoot it that well, and he had like a much better ability to like kind of, because sometimes when he gets in that mode where he misses a couple shots, that's when like those frustration fouls come, and now he's on the bench. We didn't see a lot of that tonight, and that's a good sign going forward. But yeah, going back to what you're saying with Randall, and I think sometimes that's kind of why Randall maybe does a little more than what we kind of would want. I'm kind of like a big like understander that Randall. I like what Randall does in their offense, and that's kind of a hot take. I know in the Wolves universe, it's not pleasant to watch kind of basketball.
Certainly is not.
He's very like good at picking apart what teams are doing. And if you're not going to send a double team, then he's just going to get to wherever he wants to go, just like we want Jaden to do. I just think sometimes Jaden's not aggressive enough, being that like 2A and him 2B option, and so he kind of gets stuck in the corner and stuck not attacking. I'm sure they've probably had several conversations together, those two, about, hey, go shoot that shot. If I kick it out to you, you better go and attack, and let's get that one. But I don't know. I don't want to assume a lot, but
no, I think there's a lot to that, because I do think Jaden is, I mean, one, I'm just going to completely agree with you. When Jaden's missing shots, you will get some of the most unserious frustration fouls like on the planet. Like that guy just, I mean, good on him. He knows how to regulate himself. He's just like, I got to blow off some steam, so I'm going to clothesline Desmond Bain. And like, fair, right? I'm not going to judge him on that. Like, as long as he doesn't do it too much. But like, I do think Randall, my main critique with Randall, I'll put it this way, is I don't think he can read a moving floor very well. So like when Randall's backing down in the paint, he kind of needs to know like Dante is going to be on the far wing, Jaden's going to be in the far corner, Mike's going to be in the near corner, Rudy's going to be in the dunker spot, and then he'll kind of read the defense and then just whip it to wherever matchup he sees coming his way. Whereas like a couple people have brought up like Kyrie would look really good on this team. Like something that Kyrie can do is like read the defense, and he can have motion and kind of chaos going on with the other four players, and he'll still be able to kind of figure out where they're at. So like if Dante's guy comes to double Kyrie, he knows like, okay, I just got to look for, wherever Dante is, whether he's cutting, whether he's on the wing. Where I think Julius recognizes what guy comes towards him and then is like pre-programmed to just rifle the pass to where that set position is. And like it works really good when Julius has it going, like when he's hitting shots and bulldozing to the rim. When it starts to kind of fall apart is when he's not hitting shots, because then people don't double him and he ends up throwing these like horrible turnover passes, which that's kind of their offense right now. So I do think Julius is like super imperative, but I mean, Sia, we're going to call you Sia. Sia says slow-mo does what Randall should do as a playmaker. Like that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like,
oh yeah,
if someone back cuts and Kyle has the ball at the nail, like that back cutter is getting the ball like on time, on target. Whereas I think Randall would end up just throwing it to the wing and no one would be there.
Yeah. Oh, 1,000%. And I think he's like slow-mo's definitely better at, like Randall's probably moving guys usually to like get an advantage, And that's just what scorers, that's what they're thinking. They're like, okay, well, I'm gonna move. I have the ball. I'm not trying to like create for
Correct.
a role player to get a shot. Like I have the ball already. So I want to put you in a spot where I'm gonna try to, and so whereas Kyle's like, okay, I'm just trying to get the offense moving. And which is good. That's what if I was in this situation with Randall, it's kind of tough because like he's very comfortable in like the spots that make it so that the offense has to like kind of go run through him, like that. He likes operating the elbow, and so you kind of can't really do much moving because he's already kind of in the spot where it's like, where are you going to cut to?
Right.
And then you
have Gobert in the dunker spot.
And then you have Gobert in the dunk. Yeah, that's yeah, exactly.
It's weird.
So I would see, you might see this a little bit more in the playoffs too, is like they tried doing this a little bit at the beginning of the year where they put Randall kind of in like a low post spot, like down kind of in like the dunker area / like we call it the dead zone, I guess, but like baseline, like 15 feet out, and just kind of get post touches there. Cause then it's like, all right, I'm 1-on-1 or something's going to happen in the backside versus like those elbow entries we've been kind of hammering a lot of. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see kind of how it gets in the playoffs. But I don't know. We saw it last year. It worked out pretty well for him. But I felt like he was a little bit catching his stride a little bit better going into the playoffs. So
Farah also mentions Ant can't really read a moving defense either just yet either. Like he can't. Like Ant, I think it's funny because like Ant has grown so much, but like when I was saying earlier this year, like they cannot get rid of Mike Conley, like a large part of that is because Mike Conley is like, watch a timeout when Ant goes to the bench. Like Mike is in his ear immediately telling him what defense is coming, what's happening, like where to go. Like Mike is kind of just like a supercomputer that Ant can just go and like tap into every dead ball. And like Ant's just not at that point yet. Maybe a year or two from now he will be, but like right now, oddly enough, circling back to Jaden, like Jaden is one of the few guys on this team that can actually, like, if you see him do that weird mid post like back down thing, he'll notice immediately when Rudy flashes open or when Dante like cuts underneath the basket, like, which is ironic because Jaden like tells everyone he could be a point guard if he wanted to, but I kind of honestly think he could be a point guard if people let him.
Yeah, he's a sneaky, really good passer. Like I love like when he's that's part of like when he wants to like kind of like tonight. You saw that where he doesn't have a ton of assists, but he made a lot of plays where it kind of led from one thing to another where he just gets to his spot and now he can do whatever he wants. But yeah, like Ant, like people get frustrated with how like he kind of takes a while to like pick stuff up, but also I feel like he sees the most different coverages than I think anybody in the entire league, because you really truly have to like figure out what you want to take away. You can't take away. He can score all three levels, so it's like, okay, well, what do we want to live with? And so you saw tonight where they started blitzing him really hard, and he just had that one pass to Baron J where he's just like over the head bounce pass to him. It was perfect. Where like that stuff, sometimes he doesn't feel comfortable throwing that pass to Rudy or so it depends on a lot of factors with him, but I think he personally learns it pretty quickly, especially in like a playoff series where it's like you have one team to focus on. Here's what they're doing, and you know they're going to do this, and then it's going to be the next game where they had probably adjusted, and you got to figure that out. But yeah,
I mean, it is kind of insane that he is just a one-man offensive wrecking crew at this point. Like I know as like the playoffs come like next week, as we're kind of dissecting the Nuggets playoff, like Jokic is going to get a ton of like credit for how good he is offensively. Like Ant doesn't really have a weak spot on offense. Like He can hit threes off the dribble. He's a remarkably good set shot 3-point shooter. He has a mid-range game, a post-up game. He can hit floaters. He can throw lobs now. His finishing around the rim has been like back to an elite level this season. I mean, literally the only, I guess, like quote unquote weakness is takes him a couple seconds to process. But
yeah,
even that, it's like, to your point, he's seeing a different defense every quarter almost. Like he's 24. It's wild that he's at this point. And then if he's able to level up his defense, it's just like there is a path this playoffs where it's just Ant goes into holy shit mode, and like this is the emergence. I think that's that way for Jaden too. I mean, heck, it could be both of them. I do want to throw us over to a quick ad read though. When we get back, courtesy of Croonch, we're gonna rank like contender status, because I do think the season's close enough to done. We can start doing this stuff, but first ads. Well, hello. Thank you, Livestream Andrew. This is Ad Read Andrew. And today we have Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, the presenting sponsor for the Missing Links podcast. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling strives to inspire people to follow their ideas, working with respect and understanding to create a quality, tailored result. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, located in Blaine and serving in the North Metro area, is here to help you with your building and remodeling needs. I can say personally, thanks to Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, I have a beautiful deck in my backyard, and countless projects that I started, they finished. Get started on your new deck or remodel today by calling Isaac at 763-710-5686. And we're back with another ad read, this time for Pence Homes, the presenting sponsor of Hitting the Hardwood Network. From the best tools and technology to transparency throughout the entire process, Nate Pence and the Pence Homes team is the top choice for buyers, sellers, and is proud to support you and your home ownership goals. Get started today by calling 612-308-1122 or by emailing info@pencehomes.com. So during the break, I decided we're going to do this differently. I think we should just switch off throwing in contenders.
Ooh, love
this. I'll start off first, and I'll just Oklahoma City. I think they are the number one odds-on favorite. I would not bet against them. They have too much depth. The defense is insane. Shea gets all the calls. Oklahoma City is my number one contender. I am going to give you the number 2 spot though, because I do think it gets interesting right away.
Gosh. Okay. So if we're are we just doing Western Conference or Eastern or both combined?
Let's do both combined, because honestly, there's like 2 teams in the Eastern Conference.
Exactly. So I have to go Celtics number 2. There's a lot of teams, like you said, there's a lot of teams you could throw in the mix there, but like you can even go Spurs. Obviously, I would love to just put my Wolves there as well, just because of my fandom, and the fact that I just am always going to believe in them as a contender as long as we have Anthony Edwards. But you got to look at the Celtics and what they've been doing. You have Tatum back. It's their vibes are through the roof at this point.
You're going to be shocked. I also have the Celtics as number 2. Like, those are the 2 teams I have in the finals. Yeah. They've been so good this year. And now Tatum's just like back and cool to play kind of second fiddle to JB. The Celtics is my number 2. My number 3 is where I think I go off the rails from people, because this isn't going to make sense to a lot of people. I think the third most likely team to win the championship is Denver. However, I am picking the Wolves to beat Denver in this first round. So that doesn't make sense. Let me explain. I don't yet believe in the Spurs. like Wemby is going to have to play 35, 36, 38 minutes every single night. It's a really guard heavy team. A lot of young guys that haven't been in the you're playing every other day for a month scenarios that just sucks. Like Ant, Jaden, Nas all talked about it after that first Western Conference Finals run of just like, it sucks when you're playing every other day. Like your body just breaks down. It just does. And I don't know if this Spurs team is ready for that. That's also the same reason I don't know if the Detroit Pistons are ready for that, because Tobias Harris is the only guy on that team that's been in battles, just like, I guess, Luke Cornett on the Spurs and a little bit of De'Aaron Fox and Keldon Johnson and Harrison Barnes. I'll be honest, like if the Nuggets get past the Wolves, that's the only team I really see threatening Oklahoma City. If the Wolves get past the Nuggets, I think they can rise to that level for one round. We've seen this team all year. I don't think they can do it for 4 consecutive rounds in the playoffs. I think we'll get one round and then probably bow out to the Spurs. But if the Nuggets get past the Wolves, I think they are clear on third most likely to win the ring. Again, sounds weird because I have the Wolves beating them. But I think it's like Thunder, Boston, then a big gap. I will give you the floor to either argue with me or if you want to pick your fourth team.
No, I am going to allow that because I 100% agree with your reasoning. And it's also, it's like Jokic. Like you look at this, you got SGA, you got Tatum and Brown and the Celtics formula that they got cooking over there. And then you have Jokic and kind of the healthiest they've been in a while. Denver team. So like I'm okay with that, but I'm also going to go Wolves 4.
Fair. I'm not going to argue with that.
The exact reason you just laid out there for us, where we have people might hate on all this, but I think out of all the teams that are listed below the OKC and the Spurs, I think we have the best cohesion and vibes going into the playoffs, which sounds crazy, but people like looking at it, they're like, well, they've lost a bunch of games. We look like we have a bunch of injuries. I just have this feeling that this team has probably the most levers to pull. I think that this team probably is one of the better teams that we've had going into the playoffs, which when we went further last year, we were like, man, if we just had one more guy that could, and like Jaden kind of took that leap this year. It's like we're right there in those 4, and I've been kind of like just on that for a while. We added Io, we've added Kyle, which will be super helpful.
We added good Mike Conley. That's fun.
Good Mike Conley nowhere. We have Giannis reincarnated, even though he's still very valuable in this league and not dead.
He's very alive.
Very alive.
I
don't know.
Again, believe it or not, that is my fourth team as well. Like I know the Wolves are going to be a heavy underdog against the Nuggets. I know if they were to pass the Nuggets, it's going to be a heavy underdog against the Spurs. Again, I would have the Thunder beating the Wolves in Western Conference Finals and moving on. I think if the Nuggets get past the Wolves, they have a slightly better chance of making it all the way. Just because, again, Jokic, their team, like they just have a lot of guys that like play good in playoff series. Like Tim Hardaway Jr., I think is going to be really good for them. Bruce Brown, Christian Brown, I think it could come back around. Cam Johnson secretly has not been terrible like the last month. I mean, even Valanciunas has kind of been there. Like, I do think the Nuggets have it over the Wolves, but then I honestly think it's the Wolves next, and then it's just a big drop. Like,
yeah,
I might be oversimplifying it with the Pistons and the Spurs, but it's just hearing how the Wolves talked about it after that first Western Conference Finals run. It just is a thing. Like it is like players are not ready to play 40 minutes of basketball every other day for a month and a half straight. I guess if I had to pick a next one, it would be Detroit. Their defense is really, really good. I really like Cade's kind of ability to rise to occasions. I think they have more like levers they can pull with scoring, with, Duran kind of coming of age. Tobias Harris has been fine. But again, like, I think it's those four: Thunder, Nuggets, Wolves, Boston. Well, Thunder, Boston, Nuggets, Wolves. And then it's just a gap before you get to the Pistons. What do you think?
I agree with that. Like, with the Spurs, like exactly what you said with the Spurs, where it's like, in everybody always says, like, you gotta get your lumps in the playoffs first, and you can kind of see even just at the end of this year, like, this Spurs group right now kind of reminds me of like the first playoff run that we had with our Wolves here, with kind of like that ant era, where we're kind of like a little bit ahead of ourselves a little bit, but like a fun team. On paper they should be able to make a run, but the Wemby factor is such a, like, if he's like just goes up a whole nother level, it's like, wow, that we were. But like, you gotta see it first. You gotta see
if they
it first
win it, I will be happy to admit I was wrong. Like,
I would love to do that.
Like,
yes.
that would be so, like, that would be a historic thing where it's like, oh, Wemby's here now. Like, that's I mean, even like looking back through like history and stuff like that, like the Curry Warriors had to go through the We Believe Warriors and the Harrison Barnes era before they traded out Harrison, right? Like, Tatum and the Celtics had to make it pretty far and lose a couple times. Like Dwayne Wade, I hear pretty often of like, oh, well, he won it like right away. And it's like, he had Shaq. Like, he had prime Shaq. That's different. Shaq's been through battles. It wasn't Dwayne Wade's team. It was Shaq's team, and Wade was there. Like, even the Heat had to have that 2011 season before they got there. I mean, I just think you need to get those lumps. And I think it's literally just, the playoffs are so hard. Like, it just, humans aren't meant to play basketball at that level so many days consistently. And until you've like experienced that type of trauma, like literally physical trauma, like, I just don't think your like mind can be ready for it. Which, again, if Wemby wins it this year, like, I will be on the day after the championship being like, this is insane. Like, this is the era of Wemby is here. Everyone watch out. He could win 100 of these things.
Yeah, if they win it this year, we're in a lot of trouble.
I mean, honestly, if they win it this year, the entire Western Conference might be moving to the Eastern Conference. Because, like, I don't want to be in a conference with Wemby if they're already winning rings. I do have to run here and do a links thing. So, Derek, I'm going to call it at this lovely 40+ minute mark, but I do want to give you the opportunity. Where can people find you? Please plug your lovely podcast.
SideLine Vibes. I try to do every week. It might change a little bit because my wife is due very shortly with twins. So my life's going to change. Thank you. My life's going to change, go upside down very quickly. And so I try to do it every week, where I just kind of check in around the state and, talk about the vibes of all of our professional sports teams, the Loons, the Lynx, the Wild. I have guests on, experts in those fields. And so just trying to keep the vibes positive, always looking at it from a positive perspective. You can find me on Croonch with 2 H's on Twitter, 1 H on Blue Sky if you're on there, where I'm just throwing out random fun Timberwolves stuff. And then I am doing a playoff preview with Wolfwise Stats. Again.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So lovely website. If you have not seen Wolfwise Stats or seen his stuff, give him a follow on Twitter, and check out the website. If you're a Wolves fan or just a basketball stat fan, you can spend hours on this website. But he's gonna come on. We're gonna do like a little playoff preview that I like to do every year. But yeah, that's what we got cooking. I just want to give you a shout out. You were going right from here to a live stream marathon. If you like, you do incredible stuff for the Wolves and the Lynx, and I'm honored to be in this situation. And it's very fun with like Hitting the Hardwood. You guys are doing the launching the website, like a lot of fun things you got cooking. But I just want to give my gratitude to you.
You are too kind. We'll have you back on over the Lynx season. We're not through with you yet, but you're too kind.
Yes.
Thank you. For anyone that joined into this one late, it is going to be posted up on YouTube and over on X. As soon as I end the stream here, it will come out as a podcast tomorrow morning, the 11th at 7 a.m. We are going to be back after the KG return game, probably doing more like just touchy-feely stuff because like KG is going to be back in the building. And then next week I will probably have a couple bonus pods that come out just with random Minnesota media people just to kind of prep for whatever team we're playing. If it is Denver, I'm going to try and get somebody from Denver to come on too and just chat up kind of the matchup. But other than that, again, thanks everyone for tuning in. And if you want more of this madness, the links free agency reaction and potential crash out pod will be starting in about 2 minutes here.
Let's go. Thanks.